Here's a great Nintendo game if you're into military sims. Silent Service. I used to play the shit out of this as a kid. All these gauges they actually mean something. They're all working. Like the feet, how deep you are, that's your battery there on your left. And for a Nintendo game, the simulation for what it does, you go out in patrols and shit, or you can just go into like instant action. And it has a really solid like intro song. It's fucking great. So there's practice, there's like convoy actions, which I think is like your instant action. You just click on that and there's shit out there. Your war patrols are based on actual patrols during like World War II in the Pacific. You got the actual ship. I think that's the name of the sub that you're on. And then under that is like the area like Midway, or that's whatever fleet I think you're a part of, like Midway, Fremantle. But you pretty much, you have a lot of options for like difficulty. You want the zigzag, repairs under fire, standard destroyers. If you go all the way, I think it goes up to like level 6 difficulty, shit gets rough. Like, it does get hard. Like, once a ship gets on top of you and they start dropping depth charges, you're pretty much fucked. There's no really getting out of it. This is also a game that you kind of need the instructions for. What is it? So, like, you can plug in both controllers and hit I think it's both controllers. You hit A and B and you do something that they call, like, pop bubble. And it pushes all the water out of the sub to make you float instantly. Because you'll take damage and you'll start to sink and shit. And you'll hit like up and try to dump the tubes. And you'll have to do like an emergency like thing. But if there's a ship above you, you'll crack in half and you'll collide. That's a way that you'll usually die. Collision and shit. But this is like the patrol. You have so many days of fuel, and it's like an RPG, like Jaws, or like Zelda 2, where you just walk out into the world, or like Final Fantasy, and you just run into a sub-patrol. And I think the patrols are based on what was going on during the time. So there's like destroyers, there's a lot of troop ships. I think they're called like Kaya Vulcans, which are really dangerous. But you have like a little map. It's very like detailed. It's Nintendo graphics. They're not horrible. Like, if you're into Nintendo and you're into like military sims, this is probably, from what I remember as a kid, this is probably the best one. There's probably like, Top Gun's fun, but Top Gun is like super hard and not on the realistic side. This has a little bit more like grounded in reality. The torpedo firing can be a little bit difficult when you're trying to like figure out measurements and shit, because there's ranges and everything. And when you're in the map like this, you can fire and you'll see the torpedo go off. It's nighttime. That's why you can't use like the scope. But when you're in this, like, the game is kind of paused. But you can go, like, down here. You could check on your damage. There's a log telling you, like, oh, at this point you ran into this. So there's a lot of, like, information. When you see your guy go up to that top hatch, you're screwed. Here's all your gauges. When you're running on the surface, you run off your diesel engines. So you can get air. You can recharge your batteries, because the only way the sub works is on batteries underwater. So if you run out of batteries, you pretty much like are dead in the water. And then the fucking destroyer will get on top of you for sure and start blasting the shit out of you with depth charges. Your speed is a lot slower, even at full speed underwater. The only way to really catch anybody is to go on the surface, go full speed at them, and when you get in a certain range, then you drop to like periscope depth, and then you start like stalking them. That's really what you have to do with most of it. And depending on your like random encounter, those bitches could be like a football field away, where okay, we're on I think you usually start underwater, like when you run into somebody. It does. I don't think it puts you on the surface. I could be wrong about that, but like if they're like 100 yards or 200 yards away, you're gonna be hearing like the guns firing at you. That's really like hella close. Sometimes there's some games where I like the spawning was a little bit up close, but I think that's mostly because I set up the in the options. But it can happen. You know, there's a certain range for the deck gun. You just click on the deck gun and it fires. Click on the torpedoes and they fire. And when you target somebody, the information pops up. It's a troop ship. It's so many tons, and then you can see the target range is 7,000. I think that's maybe feet. I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be meters or yards or whatever, but it's definitely far as fuck. And the angle of the bow and stuff. So you have rear torpedoes and you have forward torpedoes. You have more torpedoes in your front, and you also carry more for the reloads on the front. And depending on, you know, I guess your angle and your degree on the scope there is where the torpedo, you know, which way it'll be coming out the front or the back. And usually for that shit, like if there's a lot of stuff going on, just like back out and go down into that the little menu and go to your map and just look at the map for a second, because when you go into the map like here, things start like you see the torpedo leave, you can see it going. So this is all happening. So if there's a ship like on the screen with the sub, he'll be actively firing at you. So you just go here to just like quickly orientate yourself. Then you just you go back into the main. Like, yeah, back up to here. I guess it's the scope. How far is this dude? Yeah, they're all super. I'm on the surface and I'm hauling ass at 20, you know, knots. See the fucking torpedo, or not the torpedo, the deck gun. I was way off. I think it tells you somewhere what the range is on the deck gun. The deck gun goes pretty far, and I use the deck gun to pretty much just kill like the cargo ships. You'll get entangled with the destroyers and the bigger ships. Hit those guys with the torpedoes, because you want them to go. The deck gun takes about 8 to 12 shots depending on how close and if the ship is coming at you or not. The torpedoes will sink a ship like usually 2 good hits. One good hit, you'll set a son of a bitch on fire, and then you could like maybe if you're on the surface, pop a few rounds with the deck gun to finish them off. But the torpedoes definitely have some good range. Yeah, this guy is only like 1,000, super close. See, that one torpedo missed. See, that hit him and sunk him. What's the other dude? It's not a super fast game. It becomes fast when the ships get in your like map zone of under like 1,000 feet or whatever, because the destroyers will get on top of you quick. I think I got. Yeah, I'm missing. It could be a little tricky with the deck gun. Like I need to move over to the right a little bit. That's too far. And when you have to get that, like the deck gun has to be like real, like in the middle. See, I'm out of all the torpedoes in the front and they're reloading. I hope they're reloading. It takes a while for them to fucking reload. Like sometimes you could fire, yeah, see how those rounds hit? It's really like on the direction of like how the ship is, if it's angled or not. Like from the side. See, I'm getting shot from somebody else. Oh, and I'm turning. Yeah, there's a destroyer hit, sub damage. Pretty much getting pinged to death. Come on, left right reports. Repairs completed. Something got fixed. And then he rammed into me, which they usually do. If you're on the surface, they'll run into you. If you're under the water, they will depth charge the shit out of you. So killing the destroyers first, and then when you die, you get to put your name in Morse code. It's kind of cool. But I really do recommend this Nintendo game, especially if you're into like retro games and you're into collecting and shit. Give it a shot. It's really solid. All right, that's it for now. Take care. Bye.